He starts touching me down there repeatedly. I keep pushing him off. I keep pushing his hand off. I keep bringing his hand back up to like my waist so that we can just like cuddle because I'm comfortable with cuddling. Just to be clear also, that picture that I posted where everyone is saying that it looks like I'm a fan that asked him to take a picture with me, I did not ask for that picture. I asked for no pictures. I didn't know who this man was. My friend asked for pictures with him after asking me to record her sparring with him, and then he asked on everyone that I know and love's life, he asked for pictures with me. I did not ask for those pictures. He asked his assistant to ask my friend after he asked to take the pictures. He asked his assistant to ask my friend to have me send the pictures to her, and then she sends it to my assistant because he wanted the pictures, because it was probably a trophy for him. I did not ask for those pictures. That's besides the point. But basically, his assistant sends us an Uber to where we are after the UFC fight and brings us back to the Courtyard Marriott, where we were supposed to be waiting for Alex to get back from an interview, I think he said, and then we were going to go out. He was talking about going to strip clubs and like having a fun night while we were all in New Jersey, New York for the weekend. We wait for like 2 hours for Alex to come while his friend is on the phone talking about like kids with cancer and big money transfers and things that had to do with Alex. And we were like, hey, it's getting kind of late. Like, is Alex coming? Like, what's the plan? Should we just go back home? Because we're kind of tired. Like, if we're going to have plans, can we like get on with it? Because it's already getting very late. At this point, I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. Eventually, Alex comes to the hotel room after the interview that he was at, and he says that he doesn't want to go out. He wants to enjoy the time that he has with the people he's with. Some bullshit like that. And then he takes off his clothes, gets into bed, orders food, and then is trying to get me to get into bed with him. My friend and me and the translator are all sitting on the couch, and he's just sitting in bed staring at me and telling his translator to tell me things and trying to convince me to get into bed with him. I eventually get into bed with him because I was naive, I guess. I didn't think that anything was going to happen. My friend was there with me. I had told her not to leave me at any point. She had told me not to leave her with the assistant at any point. I thought that we were going to be fine. I thought I was going to be able to maybe try and get myself comfortable by getting into bed with him and cuddling with him if there was people in the room. I just have problems of my own. I have trauma. This is not the first time that this has happened to me. I was just naive, I guess. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I got into bed with him. My friend was there. So was the assistant. I thought I was going to be fine. He starts touching me down there repeatedly. I keep pushing him off. I keep pushing his hand off. I keep bringing his hand back up to like my waist so that we can just like cuddle, because I'm comfortable with cuddling. I'm not comfortable with putting out with somebody that I don't know. I just met literally for the first time. He's huge, scary, doesn't speak any of my language, and I wasn't comfortable putting out with him because that's just not what I do. He keeps touching me. I keep pushing him off. Eventually, me and my friend say that we're very tired and we would like to go to sleep. They turn all the lights off. My friend and the assistant get into bed. It's a queen-size bed that they get into. I'm in a queen-size bed right next to it with Alex. Me and my friend are on the inside of the bed looking at each other under the blankets. He keeps pulling the blanket over me, keeps trying to touch me. I feel suffocated. I feel uncomfortable. I don't know what to do. I've pushed him off so many times at this point, and he's not taking the hint, and these men are clearly not caring about my comfortability. Mind you, again, I don't know what I was thinking. I was naive, I guess. I guess you could say I asked for it by getting into bed with him. I didn't know that this was going to happen. I'm pushing him off of me. He won't get off. He eventually pulls my underwear and my pants down to around like halfway on my thighs, and I push him off again. He gets out of bed. He starts screaming and putting his socks and his clothes on. I'm terrified because I don't know what's happening. My pants are around my legs after I told him no and pushed him off, and he's screaming in another language. Me and my friend are looking at each other, hiding under the blankets, like about to start bawling our eyes out. And he starts telling his translator that he doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him and my friend, and that he wants them to leave. His translator and my friend leave the hotel room. His translator and my friend leave the hotel room. He immediately starts trying to take my clothes off. He starts trying to take my socks off. I try to tell him no, because I have blisters on my feet from walking around New York in heels for like 10 hours the night before, and I had band-aids on my blisters, and they were going to get ripped off with my socks. I tried to explain to him, don't take my socks off, please. He didn't understand that. So at that point, I'm like, okay, fuck. I'm in a room with a huge man that doesn't speak English. He's not understanding what I'm saying. He doesn't give a fuck because I've pushed him off so many times, and he doesn't care. And he like got up and screamed and scared me into staying in the room with him and making his assistant and my friend leave the room. At this point, I know what's happening. I've been through this before. I know that it's just easiest if I just shut my mouth, do what I have to, put on whatever performance that I have to make it end. He puts me on top of him so that I don't know how much of this I'm allowed to say on TikTok. He puts me on top of him so that we are... I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but he puts me on top of him so that we're 69ing. I think that it's just going to be, like, normal. Like, he just pressured me into having sex, and he scared me into having sex with him. It's whatever. Like, it's nothing that hasn't happened to me before. Like, I'll just, you know, keep it inside like I usually do and just live with it. He starts using multiple of his fingers, forcefully pushing them into my ass. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not. Everybody's asking for an explanation, so here it is. This is literally just the truth. It's disgusting and embarrassing, and I've tried to make this video so many times, and I keep crying, and I just feel disgusting and humiliated and violated, and I know people are going to laugh at me, and people are going to say that I deserved it and think that it's funny what I'm about to say. You can laugh, it's whatever, and like, I just thought that, like, this would help me heal by talking about it. He's basically fisting my ass at this point. It hurts really bad, and I'm blacking out and disassociating and, like, just trying not to be there while it's happening. Before his assistant had left the room, I had told him to please tell Alex that I was very nervous. I don't put out on the first time meeting somebody like that. Please emphasize to Alex that I'm very nervous. I haven't had sex with a lot of people. I have a lot of sexual trauma. I freeze up in the moment, and I am not able to have sex with people like that when I first meet them, and I told his translator to tell him that.